And your boy is a genius because instead of closing one of the phones, you close the wrong phone. I'm so sleepy daily. I don't know why I complain. My life is not freaking plain. But I gotta catch this plane. See what I did there? That's insane. Oh. So today we're of course talking about defense of psyche. So kind of a complex subject. Try my best to do it. I'm not gonna help. Coffee. And you're like, okay, well, Ink, I thought you were going to sleep. Oh, while we're going to sleep, don't worry. I got ADHD, so caffeine, something I'm resistant to, but I'm not immune to. Come on, agua. Calor, por favor. Agua muy calor, por favor. No cal. Agua no eres calor. Eres, I don't know how to say cold in Spanish. So, I got two things. Yes. Yes. It's a difference of psyche, of the intro and the outro. And it's just a subject that I freaking love. See, usually when I wake up, the intro is amazing because you're like, okay, well, what's your first thoughts? But then the outro is the exact same thing. What is your first thoughts? Because this is the first or the last, right? So whatever happens, oh, by the way, let's taste these. Provolone. Saputo provolone cheese slices. Yo amo el queso. Trying to learn Spanish. Porque no eres más complicado. See? See? If I want to become a cartel overlord and a drug smuggler for a company called Inc. If I was to create a company, I don't know what to call it. Back in the days, we used to call companies Inc., right? So it was George Incorporated, right? Or in this case, Jorge, because I'm learning Spanish. We used to call it Incorporation, but you didn't want to call Incorporation because it was a mouthful. And back then, people didn't like having the mouthful. Now, as a professional slash diplomated, decorated is the word I'm looking for. A professional yapper in 14 countries. I have the Wikipedia page that shows it. Professional yapper by the name of Bob Loblaw. So if you were to say it quickly, you would realize that Bob Loblaw is actually Bob blah blah. See, got the crazy energy from the outro. Provolone cheese, Saputo. Pero, that's delicious. Oh wow. Very, very nice. Good quality of cheese. Of course, the provolone is a nice one. And we love it. But, it's so weird. It's quite delicious, but it's not the tastiest. It's quite delicious, but it doesn't taste a lot. You're like, I know it's cheese. I know it's good. But I don't know how. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm tired. We'll call it like this. Delicious. Texture is A-okay. We love cheese. But we love cheese because we love cheese. We don't love this cheese because this cheese is amazing. We love cheese because I love the concept of cheese. You know? Does that make sense? No. You're not able to see further than your own nose to realize that Milk is milk. Doesn't matter if it's 1%, 2%, 3%. They sell it to you differently. But milk is milk. Cheese will, of course, taste different. But ultimately speaking, you're looking for what? The cheese experience. You're right. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. There's a difference in psyche. When I'm tired, I'm not. It's so weird because that's the exact subject, right? And to finish with the incorporation, back then we used to call it George and Ink, or Jorge with Ink. And I would call my company Ink Incorporated. So it'd be called Ink, INK, space, Ink, INC, dot, for Incorporated. Why? Because I think it's fucking funny that people say Ink, Ink. I'm a fast stalker. I talk fast, right? And I have suffered for years about people saying, hey, can you repeat it? I didn't hear you. I didn't understand, you speak too fast. You made me repeat, you will repeat your whole life with ink, ink. So for the outro, the reality is that I want to do an outro. Is that's a clever plan? Of course it is. Of course it is. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Of course it's a clever plan. Everything that I do is clever, or is trying to be clever. So, the outro, I went to bed at 6 o'clock, realized there was sun outside, and I was like, oh, dude, this is early. To realize that now the sunrise is at 6:27, not at 7 like it used to be. So then I was like, okay, well, guess what? Pero it's really nice because I love coffee. I love coffee. Again, the concept of coffee. Do I like coffee? I like the concept of coffee. No matter what you put in my cup, I'll drink it. Look at the hair. Insane. So, how can I put this? It's really weird. But again, it's a difference of psyche. In the winter, I don't want to go out because it's cold, right? If I have to work, if I have to go out, I'll go out. But if I can avoid freezing my balls off, I'll avoid freezing my balls off. Sorry about the lighting is weird. No sabes. Pero, what am I supposed to do? If I was a smarter guy, what I would have done is this. There you go. As simple as this. Is it good? No. It's too dark. So what they say is true. Ignorance is bliss. So all of this to say that it's weird because in the winter I avoid it. And then it just happens to be a benefit. Because I'm like, dude, holy shit. Holy shit, bruh. This is kind of nice. This is kind of fucking nice. Because I get to sleep in. I don't have to take care about the sunset, right? But it's there. And I feel bad for missing it. Even though on paper it's better. It's like hunting, fishing. You're gonna be a rich area with a lot of species, and then you fish most of them. And you're like, holy shit, dude! There's nothing left to fish. There's nothing left to fish. What am I supposed to do, right? So then what you do is you stop and you wait until they reproduce themselves and population grow at a rate where you can hunt them, right? But then you go fishing, right? Just for the pleasure. And when you catch a fish, you put it back in the water. But then it's a really big fish. It's a really, really big fish. And you realize that he swallowed your hook, right? And you literally have to cut it open because I'm not going to get back the hook, right? And you're like, well, that's a meal, right? You went to fish to have fun, but you also went to fish and caught something. You know? So what do you do? Exchange of psyche. Your first first plan didn't work. The second plan is working. And your second plan doesn't work. The third plan is working. And most of the time, the third plan isn't planned because you're like, no, there's no way I'm going to fail. If you have a plan and your first thought is going to fail, what's the point, right? If you have a first plan, like, okay, well, I have a contingency plan, which is the second one. Your thought is not that the first and the second is going to fail. The third is, okay, well, we both failed. What am I supposed to do? I got this option. Let's fucking do it, right? So it's quite nice. And lately, I've been seeing this, and it's a very refreshing thing because, again, they prefer making an intro. This is the same as the weather. Like, how is that the same? The good thing to do is take a break. And I'm filming the outside because then your content will become repetitive if you're always filming the inside. But if you're not filming always the inside, then your content isn't repetitive. Your content is different because in the winter you stay in, you do some things. And in the summer, you do something else. You do different things, right? So all in all, it's different, right? I was seeing this video about a new pandemic coming. And I was like, dude, this is just wishful thinking. People wish pandemic was coming back. It changed their entire life. 6 months of pandemic changed 50 years of your thought process. And this is what? This is a psyche change, right? And if you can do that, just this morning, I was seeing the comments, right? Because I was like, is that true? I think it's just full of shit, right? And most of the comments, I'm like, oh, yo, this would be something good. You know? That's insane. And then maybe it is the other thing. Maybe you went through a pandemic. And deep down, you think that maybe you can take another one, right? And like, holy shit. What is that supposed to mean? Huh? I don't know. In more simple term, because I'm going insane, when I do the intro is the first thought that I have, right? And the first thought that I have is often what I thought about before I went to sleep. This is why I say the intro and the outro are the same. Because the outro is my last train of thought, and the intro is taking back that train of thought and like, okay, well, I'm relaxed, let's take care of it. In insight, the opinion is different or is the same but more thoughtful. Thought process is different, I don't fucking know. And yes, we're saying because we were watching Diamond District. In Hustler Square. Am I a hustler? Do I look like a hustler? The answer is yes. Me llama Jorge. Yo soy un hustler. I don't know how you say hustler in Spanish, but when I learn it, it's going to be something I'm going to put in every single videos. So yeah, with the thought process, the psyche changed, right? Which again, it sounds crazy. And if it was an intro, you'd be like, this guy's fucking insane. It was an intro. So he's possibly just tired. Who knows? I'm drinking coffee. Am I tired? Okay, wait, the water's not warm though. I don't know why. So lately I've been noticing it, right? It's been a very difficult change, but very, very difficult because I don't know how to react to it, right? I spent most of my life being extremely passive. The thing wouldn't bother me, and I became numb to it because the thing used to bother me so much that I was like, dude, just ignore it because you're not able to endure it. So instead of a fight and this is insane, because again, this is not planned. When I make this video, you know what's the original plan? To sleep. You know what the second plan? To do an outro when I'm talking about anything and everything. You know what's the third plan? Okay, I'm sitting in front of the camera. What am I talking about? My apologies. So possibly as a kid, I had a flight or fight answer, which is nature, right? Not nurture. Again, depending on if you believe in nurturing or nature. Is my kid the way it is because it's in his nature? Or is my kid is the way he is because we nurture behavior? Right? And nurture is personality. I don't know what you want prefer, but both work, I guess. So when I was born, when you look at my parents, and this is the insane part because When you look at my parents, both are fight or flight. Both will choose fight. My mom will give shit, and my father will be like, "Yo." And again, mi padre eres un hustler. My mom eres una hermosa que increíble. Que eres increíble. Eres muy gentil. Que linda. If you know Spanish, you know that I'm talking shit. If you don't know Spanish, like, well, this guy knows balls with an S. Because you know one baldy? You're not that eligible. So they're both fight, right? And not flight. So you would think that nurture, the way they raised me, is to fight, right? And then if you don't believe in nurture, since they're both fighters, my nature would be good. You got a good answer. That's good. Good job. Tú eres increíble, hermano. Mijo, qué bueno. And you realize that it has to be like that, right? So when did I stop? Because it was just too much. I didn't know what to do, so I said, fuck it, I'm on flight. Or maybe it's laziness, right? Maybe it's laziness. And this is insane. You're gonna wait until you see this. Maybe it's laziness. Maybe I don't have to fight. Maybe my parents will fight for me. As a kid, that's a very valid thought. But then because your parents are both fighters that you don't have to talk, then they nurture you into not being a fighter because they fight for you. If it's in your nature, where you see your parents and you don't want to emulate the behavior because it's in your nature to be different because you're not your parents, you're your own person, right? In nature, you are an entity. In nurture, you're the result of two entities, right? If it's a psyche. So with that being said, you run away, right? And for most of my life, I was very passive, and then you just become kind of not really numb to it, but somewhat more resilient. Like, hey, wait. This is crazy because right now we're playing Resident Evil, and last year, I was playing it. I think it was last year, 2 years ago. I was playing the 7th, and I had my friend Raven. It's like, yo, you're so good at these. How are you not scared? And the thought of being scared for a game, and my answer was like, oh, it's just a fucking game, you know? And my thought process was like, yeah, why am I not scared? And I thought about it. And just to realize that I was so afraid as a kid that I lived through it. You live through fears. For example, I got a fear of diving, right? But how do you fix it? You dive, right? I'm an Aquarius. You think I have a fear of diving? The water is my world, baby. Water starter, Bulbasaur. No, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, freaking Totodile, my very first Pokemon. Mudkip. Who is the fourth one? Who is the fourth? Emporion. Piplup. Yep, Piplup. And the fifth I didn't play. Well, that's not true. The fifth is Samurov, which is Oshawott. I know my shit, right? I know Boss with an S. Thank you so much. So you have those fears. Because you have those fears, you face them, right? Which is the difference of psyche. I was afraid. I'm not afraid. Why? Because I don't want to be afraid, right? I understand that there's a psyche. I understand there's a need to change the psyche. It's psyche, right? If you don't need to change the psyche, then you change the psyche. No, you grow up. I used to hate blueberry. I fucking don't like blueberry, but I'm not gonna puke like I did when I was younger. You know, I was afraid of needle when I was younger. Needle were my friends. That sounded like a junkie. Mom, if you're watching this, I know it's kind of needle. Don't worry. What else? It's just the entirety of it. It's just the entirety of the psyche change, right? For example, yesterday, which is a perfect example, me and my father, we had a really good time. And it was so nice to have a valid social experience with a real person, right? And then I have a friend, which I love. She's really nice, right? But she is a bit, I don't know. I wouldn't say self-serving because I dealt with self-serving people. I blocked somebody today. That was a friend, but it was self-serving. She's not self-serving, but she's possibly self-centered a little bit, right? So she'll talk about herself a lot, but she does care about you, and you know she cares because she's sure that she cares. But then she won't ask you questions like, okay, well, she has a way of caring, which is different. Her psyche is different than mine, right? And because I had such a good time with my father this morning, I knew with her it was gonna be at 20 minutes, 40 minutes, right? And I still let her in as a guest because I was like, yeah, that's my friend. I like her. I like her a lot. After that, I was like, okay, well, I don't want to kick her out because that's hurtful, that's mean. But I got shit to do. Anyway, I have to go to the bathroom. Possibly coffee. X-Lax. Meet my chair. And we're back. I didn't even wash my hand because we're on a schedule. I have 18 minutes to finish this video, which is 10 technically speaking. So yeah, so did I wash my hand? No. I drank cold coffee. We ate cheese that was left on the counter. Then I washed my hand and I'm going to be drinking. I'm going to be patient zero. My father begged me for a gold medal the first day of the sickness. My mom, very touching story. She once told me, you tied your shoelaces so well, Steph. You're such a special boy. She believed in me since day one. What do you mean? Oh, that's what she meant. See, to come back with the girl, I feel bad because there's a change of psyche. Why did one social event with my father yesterday was so well, and why did after 40 minutes I wanted to kick her out? Was that the mood? Because I was at a social gathering the first time, and at home chilling the second time. Was that the mood? I don't know. I had a friend yesterday, and it's so weird because it changes psyche and it makes me feel so disingenuous. And this guy's talking to me, and he's talking about a game, right? Which is about 20 minutes for the games. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't care. Which is addicting to do. But then I endured because I was that kid. I was that guy that talked about the game for 20 minutes and nobody cared. I just didn't notice, right? Or I know the guy has problem with self-confidence. The guy has problem with eloquence because he's shy, right? That I should be proud of him, right? Conflicting thoughts, conflicting ideals. Today I saw a video from somebody that hurt me a lot. They did a horrible thing to me. And in their video, they were mentioning that they were depressed. And my first thought was reaching out, say, hey, they need somebody to talk to. Why do I feel that way? They hurt me. There's a time where you force yourself to change psyche, right? How is that so different? An intro and outro is so different. How is that so different, right? It's insane. How can we spend a full hour today? Not even kidding. We played for 4 hours and a half. Resident Evil. We played for 5 hours and a half. Freaking Resident Evil. We did a stream for 5 hours and a half. We're doing about 35 minutes of this video. I'm gonna go sleep. What I'm gonna do when I'm gonna go sleep is I'm gonna be uploading. The goal is to wake up at 3 o'clock so we have space to upload and shit like that, which is good. And yeah, I mean, you're changing things to see what works, right? But then there's a reason why you had things in the first place the way they are, because you thought they were good. Nobody planned things in a way that's going to be failing. That's why I plan itself, Now think about the friend, not she, the friend, after what she did to me. And I feel bad. And I thought, I see this guy was a quitter. And he was a friend to me, but he wasn't the greatest of friends. And today I blocked him. Why? Because he quit. He quit. And the reality is I blocked him because I'm like, I know that you're going to regret quitting. You'll come back after 4 weeks, 2 months, a month, 1 month, 2 months. And you'll be like, hey, you're going to be, like, nothing happened. I've been working for a month, 2 months. The next month and 2 months, I'll be working. The next year, I'll be working. The next 10 years, I'll be working. I'm a workaholic, which is a great thing. If I was to have an addiction, this is possibly one of the best. This and kleptomania, because I got a lot of free stuff. I heard, allegedly, Kleptomania. Nymphomania also is good. So the guy blocked him. And this is the weird psyche. I'm supposed to be able to help him. I'm supposed to be wanting to help him. I feel so cold. I'm not helping him. I just don't like complainers, I don't complain because I wouldn't want people to hear me complain. So I don't feel like people. It's so weird. I don't ask people for help because I feel like I owe them. So I'd rather take care of it myself. That way I don't feel like I owe myself. If I feel like I owe myself, let's get some freaking sushis because I love those. It's the same thing. I don't complain. Is it because I don't like complainers or because I don't want people to complain to me? I don't know. Everything is so complex. So in your face. So, hey, this is what is, and what is what's left. And if what is what is, then everything else is part of it, right? And it's a weird thing. It's just a really weird thing. I come in, and you see the difference between the intro and the outro, but technically speaking, they're the same thing. They're both, I just woke up, or I'm tired to go to sleep. So we're both in a state of sleep. Or being tired, right? And it's just great because different is the world. And ultimately you realize that the outro is to get things out. Things out. And the intro is like, hey, let's start our day. Let's stick it in. Let's stick in that we have a day. Intro. Right? I just don't know what I prefer. Today we're doing it for the sunrise. Tonight, I don't know if there's a sunset or a sunrise. If there's a sunset, I'm going to be waking up at 4. If there's no sunset, there's a sunset. Okay, 5:35, 5:45. And tomorrow, cloudy. I do feel bad for the person. Dude.
This is the account.
And it's killing me not to reach out, because you're like, fuck.
Gentlemen, Mumford and Sons. Ladies and gentlemen.
It's so odd. It's so fucking odd because when you understand yourself, I feel like the whole subject of psyche, the whole subject of mental, it's insane because you there's so many things that you don't understand. For example, I get distracted easily. Now I know what you're saying, ADHD, dude. Maybe I just need to relax. Maybe I don't feel the need to relax, but I feel the want to. Maybe I don't want to feel the want to, so I feel the need to. I don't know. It's so complex. See, the thing with an overthinker, you overthink everything. Ultimately speaking, it should be a good thing, but it's not, because then you don't take action, and then you miss out the train because you were thinking about, hey, what seat is available? Hey, I missed out the train because where am I supposed to go? Where's the best place to wait? I'm so stressed because right now we have 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left. and I'm supposed to be like, oh my god, there's 7 minutes left, right? But instead, I'm kind of happy because I'm gonna go sleep. So I replace stress by being happy. Why? And this is insane because this is the exact same thing. Usually, I'm gonna start my day, right? If I won't work, I'm gonna wake up before the TikTok live, which is the best thing to do. And then I'll wake up and I'll have my schedule at 7 o'clock because this is where the daily changes, right? So then you're in a position where you're like, okay, well, guess what? My dailies are changing, so I'll get it the 7, and then I'll be in the mental state of I have time, I have time, I have time. I have time. I can do whatever I need to do, whatever I want to do, right? And it's kind of fucking beautiful. It is kind of fucking beautiful because you're in a position where, how can I put this? How can I put this? In a position where you're stressed because you got so much energy versus you're stressed, you're not stressed because you're so tired. And it's kind of crazy because you could actually say that the physical your physical state or how you feel is affecting your mental, and it's so freaking nuts because it's so obvious. But then at the same time, it's so nuts because your mental is how you perceive things, why you do things, right? I'm sad today. I'm gonna act sad. I'm happy today. I'm gonna act happy, right? And it's weird because your body is sending a signal, and ultimately your brain leads the body. But if there's nothing to lead, then what's the point? I had a couple people in the live yesterday. One of them was my friend. It was a good friend too. They've been there for a while, and I'm playing a game called Resident Evil 4, where I promised myself I was going to do my first playthrough in French, and of course I don't think before I do things. So there's a guy in English, and I'm like, dude, I'm so freaking sorry, dude. This is a French playthrough. Like, hey, it's okay, man. I understand, no problem. But I felt bad because I haven't talked to the guy in a while, right? There was a second guy. And this guy is a bit of a, I don't know. I don't want because I don't know him. It's a bit more eccentric, a bit more extroverted, right? So he's talking to me and I don't know him, right? And he comes in and he's talking to me and I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry, dude. This is a playthrough in French. But then he continued to talk to me in English, and I'm like, and then says in English, which allows him to believe that as long as he's talking to me in English, I'll answer in English, right? And it's crazy because again, this is the state of mind, right? This is the state of mind. So the guy's talking to me in French, and again, I'm imposing that you have to speak French because I'm doing a playthrough in French, which is your right to impose because you're the content creator. As a human being, that's kind of fucked up, right? So this is my content. I get to decide what we're doing. As a human being, I'm not the leader. I don't own you. I don't lead you. And because I don't lead you, I shouldn't tell you what to do. We're all gifted with free will, which is a pretty special gift. And I said, continuing, it's been 20 minutes, right? I'm like, hey, with all due respect, dude, this is a French thing, so I am grateful that I'm grateful that you respect that, and I'm grateful that you're still enjoying the show, even though you don't understand. And then he said, should I leave? And he literally said, should I take my leave, sir? And I'm like, well, you can say what you, I don't remember what I said, but basically, go. And, yeah. And I felt bad. And I was like, I don't know why I feel bad. I feel so stupid for feeling bad. Because the better part of me, and by the way, I forgot to do, this is the end of day 152. I forgot. Part of it, day 152. Sorry, we'll write the intro correctly, but I just wanted to let you know. Why? Because this morning we talk about this. We talk about the human side versus the content creator side. And how I was more happy because I was able to enjoy things more, right? My apologies. So yeah, for sure. For sure. And it's kind of nuts. Because I was like, dude, why do you feel bad? Your whole playthrough, you just played for 20 hours in French. You're going to start talking in English because somebody that you don't even know talking in English? No, you started in French, you finished in French, right? And then I was like, and I felt bad because I was like, dude, I forced him. But I was like, no, don't feel bad. don't feel bad because you did mention multiple times that, hey, it's a French playthrough. It just shows not to respect you. So why do you feel like you need to respect somebody that doesn't respect you? Right? And I guess it's just because you're human, right? So the outro recap, because we have to go. We have 4 minutes left. What I want to do, I want to go to bed. Which is not too far, thankfully. Maybe the change of psyche isn't important. Maybe thinking about the change of psyche isn't important. Maybe you just follow your guts. If you feel that something is the way it is, it is. If you feel like something isn't the way it is supposed to be, then it's not. Follow your heart, follow your guts. Again, I think you know more than you give yourself credit for. So just act accordingly. And that's us saying goodbye. I love you guys. Sorry for that weird video, but it's just a lot of thought process. And again, this is voicing out. This is a diary. This is road to improvement. And as long as we improve, we're doing good. As long as we improve, we're doing good. You know what's the most brilliant that I had today? Maybe the path to perfection and the path of happiness aren't that far off. Maybe they're even a crossroad somewhere. As long as you're stepping forward. Love you guys. I really do.